Okay, I guess we need a few more chairs here. Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge that today maybe a little slower day in terms of our muscles are aching a little bit. We may be dragging a little bit, and that's all right. You know, it's an intensive week, and so if you're in that place, I'm feeling it a little bit myself. So we've shifted the schedule today. This will allow the international folks who are going out to look at some sites this afternoon to participate in this important design piece. And so what we've done, we've shifted the design piece to the morning. We'll share our plans in the late morning, early afternoon, and we'll do the education evaluation piece in the afternoon, and the bit about the section about spiritual and deep communal aspects we'll do in the evening. And so we're same content, we've just kind of shifted the order around. And so this next period is where you really kind of do some thinking about designing your own project. And so if you would turn to page 16 in your workbooks, please. And if per chance you didn't bring this from your room, you can go back and get it we have a little bit of a break period. Not so much a break period, but a period you can go back and get that. And this is an outline, and don't think of this as a homework assignment. Think of this as just a guide to help you kind of focus how you're going to go forward with it. But we would like that you just put your name on it, and when we start the work on it, your email, your phone, kind of name your passion. What is your passion? What came out of the World Cafe yesterday? What's your passion? What's your domain? Give a name to your project. You might change that name. The community might change that name, but just give at least a tentative name to your project. And then think, well, at least now, and this again may shift when you get out in the community, but how would I describe this project? What am I trying to accomplish, and what would success look like? And just in a sentence or two, just try to say what your project is, and what you're trying to accomplish, what success would look like. And then go through these different sections. We talked a lot about exploring your community. Look, locate, listen. When will you start that process? When more or less will you finish that process? How will you go about doing it? It doesn't have to be anything complicated. I'm just going to go out and talk to a dozen people. I'm going to, drive around the community, walk around the community, look at things, locate things, and maybe some benchmarks there. Benchmarks is just, I talked to a dozen people. I located some associations or different things in the community I wasn't as aware of. And so you can just put down some benchmarks there. Just kind of give you a sense of progress. That's all benchmarks are, things that you'd like to accomplish. Then envisioning, if you've gotten to this point, if you haven't, again, go where you are right now. But if you have a sense of how you're going to envision your project, how you're going to involve people in envisioning your project, put that down. Put it down where you might, in the next 6 months or so, when might that happen? And again, you can include who, where, if you wish. The same with the whole piece that we did about associating last night. When are you going to bring a few folks together? When are you going to bring, when are you going to kind of develop your leadership team? And maybe some benchmarks there. Benchmark might be, I've got a couple folks working with me now on this project. Another benchmark might be, I have a planning team working with me. Another benchmark might be, I've identified a couple partners on this project. And then, you know, when you're going to kind of really get down and design the project per se. And then this whole implementing piece, you may or may not do that this morning, depending on where you are with the project. But you might have some senses about when you're going to start implementing it, what some of the benchmarks might be along the way. And again, all of this may change when you're out there in the community. And the next page, don't worry so much about, because we haven't gone over educating and evaluating. We can fill that in later. But do some sense thinking about potlucking. How are you going to build community? What might you do to build community within your project? What might you do fellowship or fun within your project? And then on page 19, there's a timeline. And again, this is just for your use. Don't look at it as an assignment. I have to fill out this whole timeline. But if you want to get a sense of what you're going to do the first couple months of your project, you can put that down and just kind of fill out your timeline. So what we're going to do is you're going to have some time just to work on this on your own for about 45 minutes. I'll be here and others will be here if you have any questions or want to think through something. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come together in small domain groups. You're going to share a little bit about what you have, but also think if you have a question or two you want to ask, well, I want some advice on this. I want some, you know, do you have some thoughts about how I might accomplish this? You can ask that group those questions. And so we'll have a period that you just kind of come together with your domain, and each person will share and have a chance to ask some questions. And at the end of that period, we'll also extend some time that you can just have some general conversation around your domain, things that kind of came up in common that you really want to explore further. And then we'll share, you know, very briefly our projects with the rest of the group. And so some of you might already have a project going, and then you have to think in terms of how you're going to enhance that or expand that. Others of you may just have a kernel of a project, and just and so we're all at different spaces, and that's fine. But just, you know, again, use this as a tool. Don't look at it as, oh gosh, if I don't answer that question, you know, I'm going to fail this course, which you might. You might send that D- out to your, you might send that D- out to your DS. I was still holding that over you. But no, again, this is just something that we've developed to kind of to help you think through this, you know, and put some structure to it. And so we're going to go from 9 to 9:45, and you can just spread out here or out there or outside or wherever you want to be. Yeah. Paul, you looks like you have a question.
Oh, no, there's just tons of crows flying out there right now. I don't know if they're after a hawk or
squirrel. So it may be dangerous to go outside. And so be careful when you go out there. Yes, Susan, you have a...
So one question I have, the domains that we have listed so far are land and water and energy. Can we have a domain for people that are organizing systems with
yes.
that aren't specific to a domain?
Yes, whatever you think that is. Maybe it's you're organizing congregations, maybe you're organizing within a denomination, maybe you're trying to do an interfaith, you know, and so, and we may not have several people doing the same thing, so we'll just have to kind of form our groups and however it makes sense when we come back together, so we can get groups of 4. And so, yes, that's a good question. So however you want to identify your domain, that's fine, and then we'll just try to group people as best we can based on that, because I know we have Bill here is working on kind of general sustainability, and you know, and so we'll just try to figure out how to best match people up that you can have those conversations. So
I want to make an announcement before they go. we have, many of you drove your cars here, and many of you flew here. And so we're going to try to put the drivers with the non-drivers to make sure we can get everybody to the church on Sunday.
On time.
On time. So there's a sheet on this table. There's a chart. So if you drove, if you would write your name and how many people you can take with you.
And then remember, people and come with luggage.
I know, yeah, but we have my van and we have a pickup truck as well with the luggage. But yes, but drivers certainly think about that as well. So your name and how many people you can take, and then if you need a ride, if you don't have a car, then sign up with somebody who does, because we need to know by noon today if we're going to have enough. Otherwise, we can arrange transportation. But I think we'll have enough, but we just have to get it together.
Yeah, probably, let me see if I'm right about this. Probably who you can take in addition to what you already have.
Okay, yes, yes. Because you already have somebody.
Because we're full.
Yes.
So,
Right.
Okay, yes.
And is it from this camp to the church and back to this camp?
No, it is from this camp to the church, and immediately after the service, there will be a reception for all of us, and then y'all are done. You're done. So you will leave from the church. Some of you have fairly early flights, and we'll get you to the North Avenue Metro station, which is very close to the church. Metro is the best way to get to the airport. There are some church members that have volunteered to take you immediately after the service, those who need to go early. If you don't need to go early, you can hang around a little bit. You can even walk to the metro station, but you have to drag your luggage. But we'll get you there. That's easy, no problem. The other piece of that worship is we need some volunteers for people to help out with worship, if you're willing to help out in that worship service. And the other piece is that we do have a meeting lined up with Thomas Kemper at 10:15 on Sunday morning. So Thomas will meet with us at 10:15 on Sunday morning. Won't be very long with Thomas because we'll have to be in the sanctuary by 11. But he is willing to meet with us at 10:15. Okay, is that it now? Steve?
What time will we need to leave then Sunday morning?
Oh, good question. Yes, it feels like it would be relatively early to me, but I would like us to leave at 8:15.
Okay.
So instead of being in here at 8:15, be in the car. So, and particularly the international folk, if you guys could have your luggage down in the lobby over of that building before you come in here for breakfast, then I'll load all your junk up. While you're eating breakfast, and then we'll so that immediately after breakfast we'll try to leave. And traffic shouldn't be a problem on Sunday morning, but you know how a whole group, it takes much longer to do anything with a group this big. Oh, good. So there we have we want to take some tips for the cook and the housekeepers here. So I don't know where to put. I'll put it right here. Be generous. Be generous.
Okay.
You mentioned breakfast. What is there going to be a different time, or do you still want 7:30?
No, 7:30. Breakfast Sunday morning will be at 7:30.
So we should be packed and everything ready to go, and then
Yes. Yes. So packed, ready to go. Come over here for breakfast, and then we'll leave. And we should be able to get there by 10:15 easy.
I can park my truck right in front in that pull-up area,
Okay.
so that anybody that needs to put it in the back of the truck, they can just load it in.
Yeah. Good. Particularly the international.
Yeah, so first, before I come to breakfast, I'll just pull my truck up there.
Okay. Yeah, I could do the same. Yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Pat. So go forth, come back around now, around 9:50 or so, and just work as far as you can on this, and we'll come back and have some conversations around it. So. Yeah, it's good. Good point. Yeah, I can send another one. Yeah, I'll send another one.
And I got the non-damaging tape so that it doesn't damage.
Okay, listen up, let's go. In camp, we used to put the hand up, and the hand goes up.
The Lord be with you.
The Lord also with you.
I'm also with you.
Okay, if everybody. Again, this is a. Don't worry if you're not finished with it. It's a living document. The suggestion was made, which is a good one. We will email a copy of the workbook to everybody, so you'll have a fresh one that you can continue to work with. Since you've written on this, and if you want to, work with it, we'll continue to do that. And so now, I wanted to really give a fair amount of time so that you can share with each other and share ideas and gather ideas from each other, which is just really important. You can continue to do your individual work later today, or when you go home, or what have you. And so, but we wanted to take advantage of the fact that we're all here right now, and all this knowledge is in the room. And so, we're going to group ourselves by domain. So, just somebody raise your hand and give a domain. Yes.
Education and faith formation.
Education. Slash. Faith formation. How many folks in here consider themselves in that domain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Can we claim more than one?
No. Because we're just grouping ourselves. We're trying to group ourselves first. So we've got 6.
Well, we list them first.
Yeah, you can shift domains. We can shift domains once we're done. And so, yeah, why don't we do that rather than saying how many's in them for starters? That's a good thought. Second domain.
Energy.
Energy. Okay. Okay. Biodiversity, I heard.
Yes, biodiversity.
Other domains.
Social entrepreneurship examples might be food truck, garden ministry, or textile
Okay.
for the church.
Okay. Yes.
Recycling.
Recycling. Okay.
Advocacy.
Advocacy. Okay.
Sustainable gardening, food/education.
Food, gardening, whatever. Okay. Others, yeah. Okay, we're gonna water.
Agriculture and water.
Yeah. Other domains, any more?
Church structure.
Church structure.
Whatever.
So we could change that to like, organizing and equipping United Methodists for
Yep.
action.
That sounds.
That's,
Yeah, we have biodiversity, but thank you, yeah.
Well, I was wondering if mine is too specific.
Which is?
Well, what I wanted to do was to teach people how to have waste-free events.
Okay, that would, we're gonna put that, it's kind of the general recycling.
It's
I'm
not
not-
recycling.
I know it isn't, but it probably fits there now in terms of how we're doing this stuff. You're right, it isn't recycling, but it
These
is.
people here don't even know what composting is
Yes,
in the
okay,
kitchen.
okay. And so it's the whole idea of getting waste.
But we got the styrofoam removed for you.
So,
You got to do what?
all right, so these are our domains. Now that you see all of them, how many would still put themselves in faith, education, faith formation? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's perfect. Okay, that's a group. So you're,
I think there's 5. I'm going to break my hand.
no, let's see them again. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Coming out of the woodwork.
These people multiply. They educate each other quickly. Okay. How many consider themselves an energy? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's perfect in terms of what we're trying to do. You're a group. Okay. How many consider themselves a biodiversity? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's perfect. You're a group. Okay. Social entrepreneurship. 1, 2, 3. Anybody else? 4. Great. Recycling, composting, waste, the whole piece. 1.
I'm not going to that one.
All right, we have 1. Advocacy.
I want to go to the church structure.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's all right. That works well. Food, gardening. 1, 2. Anybody else on food, gardening? 3. That's all right. It all fits. Church structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it.
And then we'll run out the door.
Okay.
See, the one out the door wants,
Dan, at least one more went
there's
out
one
the
more
door.
that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's going to need to be 3 groups. Okay. So this is going to be 2 groups.
Sarah wants to do church structure.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Now, where do you want to put yourself in all of this?
Probably in education.
Okay, that works. We've got 7 in that. Okay. So, we've got 2 groups in education, 1 in energy, 1 in biodiversity, 1 in social entrepreneurship. We have a recycling person who's just kind of out there. And so, I'm sorry to the recycling person, but we're going to put you in the food group because that fills out a group. And so you can just kind of share and do advocacy's 4, and we have 3 groups in church structure. Okay, so we have 2 groups in education with 2 people in that. Raise their hand. 1, 2. Okay, 3 people join this group, 3 people join that group. You do that right now. So 3 people join your group.
What was the?
Oh yeah, they're staying to the assignment.
Okay. Tell us what to do
Yeah,
before we run away.
right. All
What are we
right.
doing?
Yes. That's why we're all together,
We'll
because
develop our own
one person is never sufficient to do anything. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have to have a timekeeper on this because we need to be cognizant of everybody having a chance to present. And so one person in your group will be a timekeeper. And so you'll very briefly present your project and then ask any questions you have of the group that you might need some help with, okay? And we've only got about 15 minutes to do that. And so you'll spend, the timekeeper, one person will present, you ask some questions, you think about it a little bit. The next person will present, you have some questions, think about it a little bit. You have some questions, present, think about it a little bit. And so that will take up the first hour, and then you have a half an hour to do whatever you want to do in that group in terms of your conversation. And so 4 people present for 15 minutes. You have
15
to-
minutes each?
Yes, but you're not presenting for 15 minutes. You're presenting very briefly and then asking questions of the group.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
need 15 minutes.
Like you say, I'm not sure how to do this. Do you have some thoughts about how I might do this? That's just the kind of question. And so I have this idea. Do you have some ideas about how I might do this? And so you have that chance to ask that question of the group within your domain. And then for 30 minutes, you're just free. It's like open space. You're free to converse on whatever you wish. We'll come back here at around an hour and a half we'll come back here at 11:45. So you essentially have that, and you can spread out however you wish. And so, okay, the education folks, the two folks, raise your hand. Okay, three go, and just find a space somewhere and go. Okay?
Follow
Follow the leader.
Got the red shirt.
Yeah. They get the soft chairs out there if they want them. In the first group. Okay, the energy group. Two people raise their hand in energy.
No.
One. Oh, we have just one group in energy. Yeah, your group. Energy folks. Yes. Naomi, you will need to be with one of the education groups out there, please, in the other room, if that's what you wish. Okay, energy folks, you're a group. Just find yourselves and find a space. Biodiversity, you four raise your hand. You're a group. Just find a space. Social entrepreneurship, all y'all raise your hand. You're a group. It sounds makes sense to me over there. Advocacy, who are the four advocates? You find yourselves. Recycling and food gardening, that's one group. Find yourselves. Raise your hand. And everybody else who's sitting down, just divide yourselves into three groups. Everybody else, I think, should be in this group.
We're all church structure?
Yeah. So find groups of four.
Solarized what? I thought you said solarized undies.
Well, there's an idea.
I wanted to hear more about that project.
What is it?
Solar Sunday.
Wow. Solar Sunday.
Climate justice advocacy.
Oh, boy.
Children teach sustainability.
Master energy efficiency.
Washburn Youth Earth Care Team.
Eden on the Elizabeth River.
CO2 and Mother Earth.
Pollinators. There's no away and throw away.
What was that? Make them what? Make them
Tennille, louder.
Make them what?
Read it. We
Make
can't
them
see it.
plant trees.
Make them plant.
Make them plant trees.
Force them. Yeah.
Will.
That's
Guardians, like guardians of the nature. But es sentinela de la naturaleza.
Creation Care Conversations.
Clinton, are your best.
Creation care and climate justice.
Say it again.
Creation care and climate justice.
God's Backyard Explorers.
faith formation, curriculum curation.
Green acre gardens.
Green acre garden. Mine is seed bank for every home, every church. Seed bank. Yeah, seed bank for every home or church. And
Keep planting toes. Green for peace. Red Raiders.
Food fight, food truck.
Who's green for peace? Can you put green, it's green riders, right?
Yeah.
Riders? That would be helpful, just so we look at it, we know what you're talking about.
Okay.
You want to know what it is?
Green connectors, connectors, it's the next group.
What was that?
Church develops creation responsibility.
Building the Earthkeeper movement.
That is faith formation for advocacy.
Just creation care and WNCC.
Creation care and what? And WNC. What's the North Carolina name?
Y'all are so creative.
Sustainably made clergy clothing.
Maybe not in your area, but
That's a naked part of it.
I was going to have churches on fire, but I didn't think that made much sense, so I added 4CC. Churches on fire. Nature camp.
What was that, John?
Nature camp.
Nature camp.
Kids and youth.
Food and water for everyone.
I like that.
Future faith or faith in the future, it's kind of on the fence.
Another one, climate change resilient communities. Are there others that haven't brought?
Frack-free faith.
And everybody? Okay.
All right. Give yourselves a hand. Okay, the international folks will be out for some site visits this afternoon. They'll be rejoining us tomorrow. Please do let them eat first today. Kathleen, it looks like you have another announcement.
Well, no, the request was made to me about having a group photo. Is
Okay.
that- Will there be with everybody here? Because I think some people are leaving, is that correct?
Yeah, there's, what's her name that just left?
Yeah, Barbara's already left.
Oh.
So let's get it.
Yeah, we should do it
Because
now.
there are some more people leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, so maybe.
Because you guys are ahead of time.
We're overachievers.
Yeah, I know. Yes, sir.
I think there's still going to be different people with interfaith power and light groups. They're going to have lunch together.
Yes.
So,
So, do you want to do the picture now?
yeah.
Okay?
Outside.
Yeah, that's right. Okay?
Who's going to do it?
Where's everyone?
Have we identified a photographer?
Does anybody have really good designers as community photos in your back? Other than I have Clark. Okay.
let's do both. Then, let's,
So Denise, are you our fearless leader? I mean, to get us in place.
put the light behind you and stand up so you can have a picture.
But we don't hear you.